Hey guys, it's Megan and welcome back to my channel, The Crafty Quinn. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 4 modern farmhouse Dollar Tree DIYs. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button for notifications so you never miss a new video. Let's jump right in. So with the first Dollar Tree DIY, I am taking these Dollar Tree clear plastic eggs and I'm painting them first because I am about to show you how to hydro dip these Dollar Tree plastic eggs. So I'm taking it back to old school, back to my very first video ever for this channel where I showed you how to hydro dip a Dollar Tree foam pumpkin. Well, I'm going to show you how to take the same principle and apply it to these Dollar Tree Easter eggs. And let me tell you, it was not easy, but I'm going to show you what I did. So I'm just painting it first with the Waverly chalk paint, just the regular ink color. And then, so I did half of the, basically the theme of this video is kind of more black and white, modern farmhouse crafts. So I did half white, half black Dollar Tree eggs. So I made 6 of them all together, but I kind of made them just contrasting colors for the sake of modern farmhouse. And so now after I paint them, I'm taking some Mod Podge because I figured I need a way to seal in this paint, because when I was hydro dipping that pumpkin, when I first ever did that video, that was spray painted on. So I didn't trust the chalk paint to be as protected in water. So I figured it needed just a layer of something to protect it. So I'm just using some matte Mod Podge. So I just coated that completely. And I also had to cover up the tiny little holes at the very bottom of each egg to make sure no water got through. So now I'm just taking my nail polish and I'm just making a quick pattern, just a zigzaggy pattern in the water. You just need regular water. It doesn't have to be any specific temperature. You just need a bucket of water. And what I did was I took yarn, and what you don't see is that on the inside, the yarn is attached to a paper clip, and that is what's keeping it attached to the egg. So I just kind of took it this way, and I'm just dipping it all around, and it's getting swirled into a fun pattern. So that is how I started out doing it, and then I just hung it up somewhere. And then I just did the same thing for the next egg, and I got a little bit impatient with these, not gonna lie. So I did that, the yarn string for the first 2 eggs, and then the rest of them, I'm pretty sure I just used my hands, and that's where things get a little bit messy. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm dipping this in all of the nail polish that is in the water, and that was the trickiest part. Just making sure to kind of hit the pattern that you see there just right. And really, I mean, as soon as it touches the paint, it sticks to it right away. But you just have to be careful because some parts get a little bit on top of each other and they might stick out like that. So I just kind of tend to avoid any of the areas in the water that looks like that. And then I just kind of scooped out the rest of that black paint before I put the white paint in here. And the white paint just kind of, it didn't form a pattern at all. It just kind of flattened out. So I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And like I said, I was starting to get a little bit impatient. So I just kind of held the very end of each egg and just kind of swirled it around to see what would happen. I mean, it came out a little bit weird for the first 2 ones because I was trying to figure out how to do this with this nail polish that wasn't really working for me. So I just kind of had to make the best of it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna, swirl this around, and you can see I'm hydro dipping my engagement ring because I forgot to take that off. And when my husband watched this video, he was not too pleased that I hydro dipped my engagement ring. But I promise it's all okay. I got nail polish remover to remove the paint from my engagement ring, and it's all good now and it looks brand new. So we're good there. But if you saw me hydro dipping my engagement ring, don't freak out. So here's how they turned out, and I think that one in the middle that kind of looks like a spider web looks perfect for Halloween, and I'm in love with these now. So I hope you guys have fun making them too. And there's what the other side looks like too. So for the DIY number 2, I'm taking this Dollar Tree welcome sign, and I saw so many people making such cool crafts with this sign. It was so adorable. I mean, how can you not? When you're like a family of 4, you want to put like everybody's names on there and something like that. And we don't have kids, we just have fur babies. So I was like, we're gonna do something a little bit different with this, and I don't have a Cricut either, so for someone like me that doesn't have a Cricut, you just kind of come up with, you know, other inventive ways to put your mark on something, and it doesn't always need to require words or phrases or names. So I'm taking my finger sander here, just a low grade sandpaper is attached to it, nothing like super rough, because I didn't want to make the actual pattern of anything come off. I'm just trying to get rid of the 2-3 layers of glitter that they decided to put on this sign. There was just so much glitter. That's why I have a Dollar Tree placemat right underneath this sign, right on top of my silicone crafting mat, because I knew it was going to be so much glitter and I didn't want it to get like stuck to my mat or anything. So I just did this process of like vacuuming with my ladybug vacuum there. I just sanded and vacuumed because there was so much glitter. So at least the ladybug helped me get rid of some of it. And now I'm just taking a really small paintbrush and I'm using that really to kind of get the edges around it first and then just kind of fill it in from there. So this DIY just requires a lot of paint and patience, and it's a lot of painting, so I definitely, if you don't have time for it, I don't recommend this project for you. You definitely need to be able to sit down and, just kind of have some time for painting. And I kind of saw it as just like a peaceful art project. So I'm just being really, really careful here, and I didn't have to remove those actually because, I don't know, the way that they were glued on, the tails actually moved around a lot, so all I had to do was just move the tail of the bunny slightly. Oh, Marcus, thanks for blocking my shot. This is my cat Marcus, the Crafty Kitty. He's been in basically every single one of my videos now, except for the first one starting out, so you'll tend to see him a lot. He's very, very curious about my crafts. He wants to know everything that I'm doing whenever I'm crafting. And he's now obsessed with the flowers that I put up as decor on top of my crafting mat. So he just likes to lay in the flowers now and just lick them for some reason. I don't know why. But you just saw him trying to steal my snacks. He's definitely the kind of cat that will go after your food even right in front of you. So now I'm just trying to finish up the edges of the bunnies, and like I was saying before Marcus interrupted, I was just lifting up the tail of the bunny and just painting around that, and I didn't get any paint on the white little fluffy tail, so it actually worked out really great. And so what I'm doing now is I'm painting this kind of like trim, this white trim around each bunny, because when they did the glue, the glitter glue pattern on top of these bunnies, the pattern was off a bit by a few centimeters, so the glitter went a little bit past each bunny, so each white liner that you see there, I'm actually covering up the glitter because they took it a little bit too far, and the glitter went way too much around the bunny instead of inside the bunny. So I guess I got one of the mess up sides, but it's fine because I outlined it and now it looks super cute, and now it just kind of looks like I meant to do that all along. So I'm just taking another really thin paintbrush, and so the paint that I'm using for both of these, I'm using Waverly chalk paint for both of these, and the gray color is the Waverly mineral color, and then the black paint is just called ink. So, I mean, it really does look like pen ink, so I think that's pretty accurate to say. So I just took a really thin brush, and I just had to be really careful and just kind of outlined every single line, and if you miss a spot, you just kind of have to make the area around it bigger to kind of make up for that, and that's kind of what I realized because I don't paint very often. So this was a fun project, really therapeutic. It was really just yeah, it was really fun to do. And then look guys, I'm making bows. I can't believe I'm making bows, but I really just kind of made a bow without realizing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, I think I got this. I think I got this bow making thing. So I just kind of tried to replicate what I did the first time, and then I took this Waverly ribbon and just made a little bow for every single bunny. And I'm still in shock that these bows came out so cute, and I didn't even need to put anything on top of the bow to like cover up the weird middle part of it. I actually got it pretty good. So I'm just hot gluing them down. And that's really what I'm adding for the finishing touch here. And I think I mentioned this is Walmart ribbon, but I just got this at Walmart, so they should still have it. And there we go. There's the finished product. And I think it came out pretty cute, and I'm actually really proud of myself with these bows. Came out way better than I thought. So yeah, that is the third DIY now. I'm taking this Dollar Tree sign and I'm using the flat part of it, and I'm taking these Target vinyl pieces. I just got these from Target about 2 weeks ago. Maybe they'll still have them, but they're from the Target dollar spot, as you can see. And they're now selling vinyl pieces like this plaid color, super cute. They're selling vinyl pieces like this, and they're also selling little vinyl cutouts, like little words that I think it said, like the other one that I got said like hello spring, or like something about blossoming. So I thought those were so cute, and I plan to use them for more DIYs, but I just really liked the cute, like really light colored buffalo check. So now I'm just taking my X-Acto knife to cut around the edges. And believe it or not, when I was using this X-Acto knife, I was really pressing down, and I figured I was cutting my mat, but somehow it did not leave a scratch on this crafting mat at all. And I just got this crafting mat for like Amazon, so I was really shocked. But the crafting mat is perfectly fine. So if you guys want to test that out, I linked it for you below. And I also linked the Ladybug vacuum that I use for everything too. So it didn't quite fit. I just had to cut a little tiny piece and just match it up as best I can. And it actually kind of blended together pretty well, and you can't really tell that it's like two separate pieces after you cut that out. See? I feel like it's barely noticeable, so that worked out great. So I'm just taking a Dollar Tree bunny. These little felt bunnies came from this Dollar Tree felt bunny garland, and I grabbed it a while ago, and I just really liked the outline of the bunny. So I used masking tape to hold down the bunny in place on top of the vinyl, and then I just used a Sharpie to trace around it. So I'm just taking my Dollar Tree, the smallest foam brush that they have in that little 3-pack that they sell of these foam brushes, and that actually helped me outline it the best. And believe it or not, I was able to get like the smallest edges with this little foam brush. So it worked out pretty good. I didn't need to use any other paintbrushes, just this one. So I would have to say this is probably the simplest part of the DIY, and now we're gonna get to the hard part. So I grabbed this this wood block from my husband's workshop in the basement. He had a ton of pieces just kind of sitting around, and I found a great flat one, and I got him to kind of cut off the extra edge of it that I didn't need. And then I'm using these Dollar Tree Jenga blocks, and I'm kind of hot gluing them on an angle just so that they are angled enough so that when they're down on this wood block, this bunny sign is going to sit straight up, and it's going to be right in the middle of this wood block. So it's going to look like it's standing up on its own. And that's really how I did it. I just hot glued everything down, wood pieces on an angle, and then I took a 4th Jenga piece that you can see right there to go right up against the very back of the sign, just so that it looks like that's really the one I think that kind of made it go completely straight in the middle and just straight up. So I think that's really what you need there. You need 4 pieces, that's what I recommend, and then you need the 4th piece to go right up against it in the back. And that's how it looks on the back, so we just don't look at that part. But when you turn it around, you can't even tell. So it looks like it's standing up on its own, and really that was the look that I was going for. So this was a way I thought to modernize that egg sign, so I really liked how it turned out. So now for the last DIY. Everyone loves these little like cutting board or like cookbook holder pieces that Dollar Tree just came out with not that long ago for Easter. There's a carrot version. I have both of these signs, and I thought they were really cute on their own, but I still wanted to do something with them. I don't know. I'm just the kind of person that I'm just kind of like, you know, you can do more to this. So I'm trying to dry brush this now after I just use my finger sander to just kind of make the egg basket go away. And then I removed like the top line of I forget what it said at the bottom, but I removed that too. And I just took a finger sander, and really that got everything off without making too much of a mess. And then I just did a lot of dry brushing over everything, and I've been experimenting with that more lately, dry brushing. So you just get like the tiniest, like it should have the tiniest amount of paint on your paintbrush to make everything look kind of faded. And I just wanted to cover up any areas that looked like they were still part of the old sign or picture that was there. So I dry brushed over everything, and then so it looks really faded. And then I'm just taking that wood bunny cutout that is supposed to be part of it's a Dollar Tree bunny cutout, wood cutout, and it's supposed to be for a, I guess, garland or something like that, or if you want to hang it up on a tree. And I just take that, I filled in the hole that is in the top left of the bunny ear, and I filled it in with the hot glue, and then I painted over all of that. So now I'm just taking my antique Waverly wax, and I'm taking a brush to just dry brush distress this as well. Just using a very, very small amount of the wax. I never like to use too much because sometimes I don't realize how much I'm actually using. So I just go really, really light at first, because if you don't like it, you can always add more later. So that's really the trick, to just kind of start out really light. And then if it's not enough, you just go back and you keep adding more. But at least you have that option if you start out with a really light amount of this. So I'm just taking a paper towel and I'm just kind of smearing it a bit, because it was too like speckled or spotty, so I wanted them to look like faded lines going across. So I do that to the entire just piece there. I don't do that to the rest of the board, just the part that looks like the sign. So then I hot glue the bunny on, and then I just use the same approach with the dry brushing, and I just did that to this bunny as well. And I just tried to make the paintbrush catch on the edges of the bunny to make it look like really, I guess like dusty, or just distressed, like it had seen some things. So I just kind of made that go around the edges, and that's kind of what I've learned from my experimenting with dry brushing. So like I said, you just want the smallest amount of paint possible on your brush. You just can use a paper towel to get the rest of the paint off if you want, or just kind of wipe it on the bottle, but just like the smallest amount possible so it doesn't come out looking like a thick layer of paint. So now I'm doing a bow again, and I'm taking this other Walmart ribbon, and it's this really cute buffalo plaid pattern, and I'm just tying that to the top, and I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue to secure that so that it looks pretty. So this is how it turned out, and you can't even tell that it's like leaning up against the protein powder. So I thought it turned out really cute, and now I'm in love with the sign. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you made it to the end of this video, please leave a black heart comment, because that's my favorite emoji. And if you want to watch more videos, check them out here on the left, and let's keep in touch on Instagram. Thank you guys so much.